Hello, Michael in Plano, Texas. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and tonight I'm going to show you how I cut your invisible bifocal in 167 high index transitions extra active gray with Crizal Prevenc. See that green? I'm sorry, you don't see the green, you see the purple. P for Prevenc, purple. And it's 167, which I'll demonstrate later, different sound than most of the lenses I use. But tonight they're going to be going into your Prada, which on the outside, OPR, which stands for ophthalmic Prada, the 16MV and the 1BO 101 53 eye size. Let me take everything out of the original packaging. The Italian leather Prada case, the Prada hard shell, the Prada box, the hard shell case, your Prada cleaning cloth. And of course the star of the show, the main attraction, is your Prada in the matte black. And again, this is the 16M and the 53 eye size, color 1BO-101, which you will see another color pretty soon. But tonight we're working on yours. This is mine, mine, yours, mine, yours, yours, mine. So I'm gonna pop out the original demo lenses, one of which says Prada. And by the way, Michael in Plano, which ironically is optical talk for non-prescription, which means no power. We have someone else watching tonight. I have gotten heckles from someone else who is in the optical field who thinks they can do a better job of cutting lenses. That person's name is, actually I don't want to say their name, I'm just going to give you their initials. Their initials is and they think they can do a better job than me. So bring it on. Let's see what you got. So let's go ahead and put your Italian frame into the French Essilor tracing element, and hopefully they won't fight. I'm gonna hit the start button. The clamp's gonna close, the little stylus is gonna come up, and it's gonna go around and trace the inside of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. They're only disappointed in the other opticians who are haters, who think they can do a better job. But I digress. So yeah, you buy any Prada frame from me and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Of course, Michael, you upgraded to the Transitions Extra Active, you upgraded to the high index lenses, you upgraded to Crizal Prevenc, and you're upgraded to the good guy who's going to cut your lenses. Of course, we do that at no charge, unlike the haters out there, and you know who you are. And if you are so good, look at the love I get from my patients. That's just today. These are the gifts that have been bestowed by my fans, which we call patients. They bring all this down. Yeah, I know it's McDonald's, but still, that's a good cookie. This one, well, you know, that one could have been better. That's what I think of that one. Okay, let's take this one back. Let's get back to work here. Okay, sorry, inside joke there. These are your lenses. For the sake of time, I have already put the optical center on here. I use this machine, which helps me. You have two little laser marks with your Shamir emblem. This is the Autograph 3 lens. He specifically, I'm an Essilor guy, but he specifically wanted Shamir lenses, and I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Michael. So you have little laser marks. It also has 6.7 written on there, which is for high index 167. I underlined the power. This is a digital freeform lens. It has the power there. But put the dots, that's the optical center, and two little laser marks. That when you see that dot there and that dot there and that mark, those dots go over that. Same for the left lens on this side. This is a 4-drop layout, meaning that this horizontal line, that dot right there is 4 millimeters below the black dot that I have on the lens. So let's come down here, put your lens onto the block. Let's see, let's enter your information. Your PD for your right eye is 35. The computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap the plus button. It's going to go up in 0.5 millimeter increments until I get to 35. We're going to put your optical center height, your seg height at 22. This is a progressive lens. I'm going to change the layout. Here you get to see a lot of stuff you normally don't see in this video. For one, me talking about the hecklers, the wannabes, the haters. You know, a wise American philosopher told me once that the haters are going to hate. And I guess it's true. So this is a progressive layout, which means you're going to have this orange graph, which you usually don't see in my things. This tells me where the optical center go, and these two dots are going to lay out just there. Oh, I need a block. I need a Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place in the lathe. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I just barely have 2 left. That was close. I almost ran out of the big ones, and then I got all these little ones too. So the black side is the sticky side. I do not have that much of a magnetic personality that they would stick to my fingers by doing that. So I'm going to put one onto the first block, place it on the platform right yonder, as we say here in North Kakalaki. Place the sticky side onto that block, pull the paper away to make the second side of the adhesive sticker sticky. Now on the back is a silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the arm. That's the arm. We're going to line everything up. That dot goes there, those 2 dots there. I want to check one thing. I'm going to minify it. Oh yeah, everything's going to fit perfectly. Bring that up to size. Hit that button. The arm comes down and places the block onto the right lens. I know it's right because I put an R on there. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Your pupillary distance is 33. Same optical center height of 22. Pull the sticker away to make the black side sticky. Put the magnet in there where it lines up. I'm going to put that dot there where it's supposed to be. Those 2 dots are lined up where they're supposed to be. Check something here. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with peanut oil. And I hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. So this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. I recommend everyone go out, get their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut glasses at home. You won't need this guy to do it for you right before Christmas. It is now 8:03, Thursday, December 22nd, 53 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Kakalaki. So, where am I at? Okay, this is your lens. Let's go ahead and do something a little extra special too. Let's go ahead, since we're using a Crizal Prevenc, I'm going to put another sticker on the back side because Prevenc is a little bit more slippery. And due to the cost of these lenses and the fact that you need these before you leave the country, I do not want to have to order them. I never do this in the videos or any other time. This could be a complete waste of time, but to be safe, I'm going to do it anyway. It never hurts to, that little extra at the beginning of ordinary, that's what makes things extraordinary. So this is the actual cutting wheel over here. It's on the far right hand side of the machine. This wheel into the center with that valley, that little channel, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now the magnet, let me press that sticker on there good. You know, this person thinks they can do a better job than me, but I happen to know that the last time they cut a 167 lens, it slipped in their chuck. I happened to read that on one of their blogs. Just saying. So, you know, us opticians, it's a small circle, so I got to rub it in where I can. Rub. So, hey, if the clown gets to laugh at work, it's a good day. So now the magnet's going to do this job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up the computer. Wakey, wakey. That is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting. Here's another rarity. Instead of polycarbonate, I'm going to select either plastic, polycarb, mid to high index plastic, or Trivex. I'm going to select high index. I do not want to polish the edge of your lens. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface of the lens, and I'm going to put a very light bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door is going to close. The clamp is going to shut. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame, which it is doing. You can see it is going around tracing the shape. measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And with this one, with your prescription and this frame, you shouldn't have any, but you never know. You never know till you cut. Now watch this. Water is spraying on your lens. When do you see that? Polycarbonate, which I usually use, cuts dry. Plastic, high index plastic, and Tribex cut wet. So the lens has moved down onto the cutting wheel, and there is that unmistakable sulfur rotten egg smell, which you guys don't get. I wish there was smell-o-vision, because then you would smell how bad your lenses smell when they're actually cutting. But it's true, high index lenses smell terrible when they're cutting. And then I'm going to show you one extra thing in between lenses you normally don't see in my videos. But high index polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. High index is 30% thinner and lighter than polycarbonate. Now you're also getting the Transitions XTRAactive, which is why your lens is a little bit darker than mine, which are the regular Transitions, which are slightly darker than clear. But Transition XTRAactive get darker in a car than they will, and of course they'll get super dark when they're exposed to the sun. But the Crizal Prevenc, let me pull a couple lenses here. This is a lens without any anti-glare coating, and you can see the reflection coming off the fluorescent lights above. Now I'm also going to show you a lens with the traditional anti-glare coating, which has a greenish hue to it, which most Crizal lenses have. You can see your lens in my right hand is purplish. P for Prevenc, P for purple. So that's how you can tell. Now I'm getting a lot of emails from people in Asia, India, and China. They're looking for a fog mark on Crizal lenses. I've only ever seen that once in my life to someone who got a pair of lenses in China. Here in America, there is no fog mark, meaning that when you breathe on a lens, you will see a Crizal imprint in there. You don't get that here in America. People ask me, how do I know if I'm truly getting Prevenc? Because the hue is purple. There you can see them side by side. Now the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense of doing that, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. So there's a little spinning wheel on there putting the safety bevel to the rear concave surface of the lens. Should any of this lens protrude out of the back surface of the frame and come into contact with the cheek, it will be nice and smooth. Now in just a moment I'll open this door with my mind. You like that? You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours. I gotta stare at it, but I can do it. I can do anything with my mind except come up with a new joke. So if anyone out there has a funnier joke than what I have, write it down on a $100 bill and I will read it out loud on the air and say your name and who it's from. And you don't have to put your name on there. I'll recognize your handwriting. So I'm going to tuck the lens in. We're going to see if it's large enough or small enough to fit into the frame first time around. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside edge using my thumbs, press down at the nose. It ain't going in. I'm going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter. Uno, dos. Come on, there you go. Hit retouch. Oh, here we go. Now here's the other thing about high index. That is the material left over from cutting. It's very gummy. It clogs the filter. I have to empty it out. You see all that? The water running? Now you get to see the magician putting the rabbit in the hat. How often do you see that? So it's going back onto the bevel wheel and it's taking a little bit off. Where's your demo lenses? All the way around the circumference of the lens until it snaps in there easily. I do not want to force the lens into the frame. That could cause the frame to stretch or to roll. If you imagine the bottom of your frame being like a gutter, if the lens were too large, it would force the bottom of the frame to roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic blemish as well as shortening the life of your frame. But because I, the perfectionist, rub, cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide, I make sure that every lens fits in there perfectly before it leaves this wonderful clean lab. Look, the walls are cleaner, behind the counter less dust, before it leaves this lab, this nice clean lab. Michael, I want you to open the door with your mind this time. Hey, Michael, pretty good. First day on the job, and you did it right. So, let's dry the lens off before I attempt to install it into the frame. We're going to tuck it in at the outside corner using the thumbs to press down. Nope, it's not going in, so I'm going to take another 0.10, 1/10 of a millimeter, and press that on there good. Hit retouch. I apologize that, actually I shouldn't apologize that it is taking a little longer. You should never apologize for doing the best job possible. But for those of you who are stuck with my corny jokes, I apologize, because I ain't any funnier. And the right lens takes me a little longer. Once we get the right lens, the correct size, we can flip it over and do the left first time around. So the right lens does take a little bit longer. So the video is going to be a little bit longer than it needs to be. But in that time, I can use this time to show you, when he called me about this frame, it was blind luck, because the night before I'd been at the grocery store and there was someone wearing this frame in this color, and I liked it so much. And I asked what kind it was. I knew it was a Prada from the sides. I just didn't know which one, and the person who was wearing it, their skin had rubbed the information off the inside. He called me and I said, hey, that's the frame, literally. The night before I wanted this frame, he calls me the next day with this model number, asks me if I can get it. I don't think it's on my website, that's why he called me. But this is the tortoise in the blue. If you hold this up just right, hopefully you can see that blue hue to it. As I move that around, I'm a sucker for anything blue. I wear a lot of blue, I wear a lot of brown. Tonight I'm wearing the Ray-Ban New Wayfarer in the color 902 tortoise. This is the Prada tortoise with a hint of blue. I wish the Ray-Bans did that. But these are our frames. Michael and I are going to be twinsies, except he's wearing the matte black. I'm going to be wearing tortoise denim, as it calls. I love that iridescent blue as it moves around. But that's me. All right, so let me put mine away. Sorry about it. I got this cough I just can't shake. Ironically, I was fine. I just got back from vacation in Cancun, Mexico. Never coughed once. I think maybe it was all those fruity drinks that I had, those healthy, nutritious drinks that I had at the all-inclusive resort. They had some very funny medicinal names. One of them was called lime margarita. Another one was called mango margarita and peach margarita. And then there was another scientific name, mojito. Melon ball, what am I leaving out? Pina colada. Yeah, I think that's something Spanish for a medical term, I'm not sure. But as long as I was drinking those, I never had a cough. It's only when I come back here to the States that my cough comes back. Maybe it's allergies, that ragweed here in North Carolina. So again, take it down a little bit more. Hang on, I'm too far. Hit retouch. Once again, goes back down onto the bevel wheel until it's the correct size to pop in. Due to your lens, the thickness of the bevel of this frame is taking a little bit longer first time around. So that reminds me, let me start eating some of these candies here. Let's see, let's start with this one. Looks like some white chocolate pretzels in here. Some pretzels, a little Chex. Some green M&Ms. So the green M&Ms means that Van Halen's not playing. And actually, those of you, here's a good thing about checklists. I always remember growing up hearing that Van Halen were prima donnas, that if they checked into their hotel room, they always had to have M&Ms on a bowl on the table. And if there were any green M&Ms in the bowl, they would not perform. That is because, I found out later, for the person who wrote a book on checklists and why they're so important, that Van Halen had their own stage, and this is before they carried around their own stage crews. The local guys would put the stage together. Their stage was so elaborate, and David Lee Roth would dance around and climb and jump around on so many of them. They had very specific instructions on how they wanted the stage put together. And at some point in the number 30s, 40s, or 50s, there was a line saying no green M&Ms in the hotel room. So if they checked into the hotel and they saw green M&Ms, it means they hadn't followed every bullet point on that checklist to make sure they were doing the best job possible. And so for safety concern, if they checked into the room and there were green M&Ms, they would not perform. It was for their own health. It wasn't because they didn't like green M&Ms. Who doesn't like green M&Ms? So now let's see, let's pop that in. That goes in there perfectly. Michael, may I suggest we start cutting the left lens? Yes, I agree, I concur. Flip that over to L, press that on there tightly, and hit start. Now I have already emptied the trap in between. Normally this water would overflow. The 167 material gums up this filter and it makes the water overflow even though it looks like it's empty. Let's play it safe. Empty that out, put that back. And then this is all Schwarf, which is leftover residue for when the lens is cut down. Once the bucket fills up, I put it on toast, and it's rather tasty. So, the left lens is just about to begin cutting with water spraying on it because it's high index. So let's come down here, take this block off. It is no longer needed. We can take that sticker off. Let's see, is the dot going to peel with it? It is. Let me get my pen. Put a dot on there on the front of the lens because your original dot was on the back with the sticker. I take that off and that's there. So let's now come down to my Marco 101 lensometer, spin the axis wheel to 154, put it in just above that right dot, and we can measure the power, and I am getting -4 1/4, one tick mark past 4. The spherical component of your prescription is -4 1/4, -50 at 154. That is your right eye. So everything is in quarter increments. Starting at plano, non-prescription, no power, going up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. Look at that, you got them all covered. And going up to 4 1/4, so that is 17 steps of nearsighted correction. Actually, farsighted. You are nearsighted, so you need 17 steps of farsighted correction. With your glasses off, everything is much too large than it really appears. That is why there is a minus sign. Your lenses minify the object down to the 17 steps till it's the correct size. Now you need 2 steps of astigmatism correction. And let's go ahead and check that power. And we end up, where are we at? At -475. Remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, I've forgotten that too. Let's use today's term. Someone borrowed $4.25 and then they borrowed another 50 cents. They would owe you $4.75. That's where we're at, 475 in the red. Now the first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. A straight line is 0 at the tip of my pen, 90 in the center, 180 over here, 270 for those of you keeping score at home, but we're only going to go to the 180 meridian. So starting at 0, we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to about 154. So you have 17 steps of correction to make everything the correct size. You have 2 steps of astigmatism correction. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. This is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, so we turn that fine-tune knob to 154. Now your left eye is a little better. You only need 16 steps of correction. So you need 1 less, but you need 1 more of astigmatism. So we're still going to end up with a total value of -475, but we're going to turn that knob to 17. So here's the unique thing. 154 for your right eye, which is over here, 17 for the left. But because we only go up to 180, you are 26 degrees from the 180 meridian. This is 180, so you're about 26 degrees away. Your left eye is at 17, so really 17 and 26. Those numbers are very close, even though they're at opposite meridians. I don't know if that other optician out there who watches my videos would explain that any better. But there's only one person with 2 thumbs who can do that, and that's this guy. So let's go ahead and see what we're going on with the left lens, the unright lens. Dry everything off, press that on there good in case we need to take it down. Grab your frame. God, I'm sorry about those allergies. I need some more of those Mexican healthy drinks. I'm going to tuck this in the left lens on the far side using my thumbs. Come on now. I press down, it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and take this block off. Let's use my pen to put a dot there, so I can peel the sticker off and not remove that dot. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, you thought you were going to get away without one more bad joke. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna. Ain't gonna. So, let's turn the knob to 17, the fine 2 knob to 17. We're going to put it in just above that black dot. Read the power, and we are getting -4 on the nose, -4 on the nostril. Oops, let me move the camera so you can see there. -4 on the nostril. 75 steps, 0.75 I should say. So we have a total value. My camera, what's it doing? I need to tighten the screw on there. And we're at -475. So that is cut perfectly. I could not have done a better job myself if I have done the work myself. So your pupillary distance, 35 for the right eye, 33 for the left. Turn the card around. When we hold this up, I'm going to place my PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and when we hold it up, we're getting 68 millimeters. So that is cut perfectly. Optical center height of 22. So I'm going to turn the glasses this way, make sure this dot is 22 millimeters away from the middle bottom of the frame. If you bisected the black part of the frame, I want it 22 millimeters from that, and that is where we are. Not the actual bottom of the lens, but the middle of the black portion of the frame. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Man, the kid is good. Is good. So this is the point in your video that as I clean your lenses, I'll remind everyone that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, and last time I checked, Texas is still in the United States. Every once in a while they talk about seceding, but they haven't yet. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first. Also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame are 3. So Michael, when you get these and they need adjusting, just stop by your local place and just tell them if it's too loose or too tight. They'll know what to do. But I'm going to set them on the counter and press down to make sure there is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and I press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Flip these over, press down, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, and that neither are askew like that. Now this is what they look like clear. Let me go ahead and give them one final cleaning. Now you're going to get your Crizal cleaning cloth, you're going to get your Prada cleaning cloth, and you're going to end up using mine best because it's a little bit larger and thicker. It is a premium microfiber cleaning cloth. I field test everyone to make sure that it works. I do not want to send out a defective cloth. So when you get these in the mail and it's wrinkled, you're going to know that your cloth works. So not only do I care for instruction on how to make sure that your frames and lenses last you for years, but I also provide you with cleaning instructions, not only for a case, but all 3 cleaning cloths, so those 2 will last you for years. I also send out a selfie request. Michael, I would love to have your picture on my website. So, since I've gotten to know you, we've talked several times on the phone before we've made these, which is the part of internet sales I miss the most. Everyone can see how great I am in real life with real life patients. I just miss that interaction when everything is done on the internet. So he's one of the few people I've taken the time to get to know. I really like the guy. I love his accent. Of course, he doesn't have an accent. Everyone else has an accent. He just speaks normally. But he needs these in a hurry because he's leaving the country for a month, going somewhere tropical himself. Lucky guy. Maybe he'll send me his selfie from over there. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So this is what your Transitions XTRAactive look like while they're still virtually clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them in my Transitions box. Transitions adaptive lenses. Experience life well lit. See for yourself, so they say. So I'm going to hit this button. Now, as you can see, all transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks that they are exposed till they reach their final hue. It also takes about 30 to 45 seconds for them to darken, a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now pay attention, nearly 99% of all the transition lenses I sell do not work in a car. You got the XTRAactive, so they will get between 30 and 50% effective in the car. Everyone else, you have to Your windshield absorbs all the sun's ultraviolet rays to prevent your upholstery from rotting or your dashboard from cracking in the sun, and that's why transition lenses, Transition Signature 7, don't get dark in a car. But again, he upgraded to the XTRAactive. And now if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But since Michael lives in Texas, he wanted the XTRAactive because the XTRAactive will get darker than the regular Transition Signature 7 will. So that is that. That's the first time they've been activated. They're going to continue to darken every day for the next couple weeks. Come on, Michael, we talked about that. Don't you remember? So that's that. If anyone has any questions, including the heckler who thinks they can do a better job, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. Michael in Plano, Texas, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut high index Shamir Autograph 3 progressive no line bifocals with Transitions XTRAactive and Crizal Prevenc. Can you see that purple hue? I just don't know how my GoPro camera is picking that up. And I cut them for your Prada VPR 16M size 53 16 bridge color 1BO-101, which is the matte black. And hopefully everyone else, including my heckler, has gotten a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.